So how's it going, my comic chat army? We're here today with Mark. What is it? Mark
Von Ahnen, like come on
Von
in, but with a
Ahnen.
V.
All right. So how you doing, Mark? Is that your real name or is that your pen name?
That's my real name. I should have a pen name because everybody has trouble pronouncing my last name. You know, people call me Bogus. It's a nickname I've had since high school. So if people just want to call me Bogus, I'd be more than thrilled with that.
All right. So tell us about your comic books that you're doing. I've got 1 through 6 behind me.
Yeah, excellent. The comics are I say it's an homage to Sam Raimi movies. I grew up loving like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. I just love the idea. I think I was really kind of surprised that you could make a scary movie, but at the same time it'd be like hilarious. So those were big influences on me. So I decided I wanted to make and I was also really big into shark books and movies. Jaws, I love the book and the movie. Of course, everybody loves the movie. It's one of the greatest of all time.
Yep.
And then the Meg series. I've read all the books. I've got the new one reserved. Saw the movie. I actually had a bet on the movie of how that would do with my friend Ryan, and I won it. So I'm proud to say that. So I'm a pretty rabid fan of like shark culture, I suppose, and also like Sam Raimi movies. Like Drag Me to Hell is another one of his I really love outside of the Spider-Man stuff. So when I decided I wanted to do, I had this idea, and pretty much the idea was, it started with what happens if a great white shark eats a vampire. You know, it's pretty straightforward. Not a lot there, but it's like, well, what if the vampire got all the shark powers, or the shark got all the vampire powers? And so I started, So I started working through that, or it's, and I don't know, this is my first comic I've produced by myself, so I'm pretty proud of it. There's a lot of stuff I need to do different because I can tell, like, I wanted to do some of the stuff where like the shark was turning into a mist, like Dracula could do. I don't know that was conveyed as well as I had hoped, but pretty much the overall idea of the story is it's a great white shark eats a vampire and gains all the vampire powers.
I love it. It's so original and goofy. And in
That's what
today's
I want. Yeah.
in today's indie world, people pick so like small little things from pop culture and make books out of it. But this, I'm showing.
Yes, thank you. That's also the cover. Yeah, we use that. That's the final battle between the two, Ahab Van Helsing and the Nosferatu Carcharodon. And I will say, I do get questions about the title, and I've had people turn it down, like they didn't want it because they couldn't understand what the title was. And that was, I will admit, that was done intentionally because I wanted people to know it was a joke. Like, this is not meant to be taken seriously. So I wanted to give it the goofiest, almost dumbest title I could think of. And a lot of times you'll notice, if you follow me on any social media, I'll always refer to it as the Vampire Shark story, a comic. But the reality is, the title's Ahab Van Helsing versus the Nosferatu Carcharodon. I just thought Vampire Shark sounded a little too generic, and I just wanted something dumber and goofier. So
I like it. Are you
thank
a
you.
one man? Are you a one man band? Like you're the writer, artist, editor, and
No,
everything?
I'm just the writer. I found groups in like Facebook groups and stuff to help find me writers or artists and stuff. I'll go out and I'll find maybe a different, just because I want things to have different flavors. I want like a different cover artist for this or that, and if you'll notice, I don't know if did you get hilarity? I can't remember if I sent it to you or not.
I don't. I don't. I only got 1 through 6.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I did a humor comic. It's just a bunch of like stupid jokes I thought was funny, called Hilarity. And I tried to find like a different artist for each segment, each joke. So, and that was hard because I was talking to like a guy in the Philippines who completely different time zone, didn't speak English. And I had to explain, it's just a big joke about Bigfoot. I'll have to send it to you. I'm sorry, I thought you got it, so
Yeah,
I'll get it to you later.
I seen the back of your comic. Are these books, I guess you could say, 420 friendly?
Well, yeah, I
I mean,
guess they're not 420 antagonists, I suppose. So
right, right, okay.
um, yeah. Well, I mean, the second one is that one I did is called. I'm sorry, I'm scratching my eye. Not the best for visual, I suppose. Sorry about that. It is hilarity, and there's like pot leaves all over. So definitely, that was what I was going for. Is just sort of that. And actually, it's funny because I'm actually kind of straight edge. I don't smoke weed. I've had like one experience where I've had like almost a freak out. So I don't do that. But my friend Wes, he would do it. Like he was big, so I put him on the cover, and it's like, I just thought the term hilarity. I was like, I don't think anybody's ever used this. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
So that's what I came from.
So each book, it seems like you have a different artist.
No, just the first two. That was a guy named Jonathan, or not Jonathan. That was Jamal Patterson, and he did the first two for me. And then after those, he was unable to continue. And then I found a guy named Gary McCluskey who was able to finish the rest of the series. So yeah, I kind of wanted to be one uniform artist and everything, but life happens and stuff, and can't be. It was what it was. It got finished, and people seem to enjoy it. So,
is there going to be an issue 7?
I don't think so. I think I kind of wrapped up the story pretty completely. So I don't, and plus I kind of would rather think and do things about something else.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess if it got to a point where people are demanding an issue 7, I might consider it, but I haven't got there yet.
Did you kickstart any of these, or did you fund them all yourself?
I've kickstarted. I do GoFundMe, and I've done like 2 of those on GoFundMe. Most of them I just fund myself. Yeah, I'm doing a GoFundMe right now for my next one. It's called War on Christmas. Again, just because I like the expression, and it's sort of like an old claymation Christmas special mixed with Die Hard.
Nice.
Or just a really graphic action movie, but it's all with Santa and King Moonraker and all those dumb Rudolph characters.
Speaking of claymation, do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah, I remember that.
All right. I guess what's some do's and don'ts of making your own comic?
Am I there? Sorry.
Oh.
I was trying to get a screenshot. I shouldn't have done that. Are you there? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, so that didn't mess with anything?
No. Did you hear the question?
No. The do's and don'ts of making your own comic?
Yeah.
Do's. I don't have a whole lot of don'ts. I mean, pay your artists and stuff. Don't leave them hanging. Make sure. And I can't speak for artists because I'm not one, but I would say if you were an artist, make sure you do what they're asking. And I've been very lucky because every artist I've had has either A, done exactly what I wanted in the time I wanted, or they've just, they eventually is like, I'm sorry, I can't do this due to certain reasons, and given me my money back, and that's just part of life. So I can't get too, you can't get too mad about that because that's how life works. So just don't take anybody for granted. Don't not pay people. Everybody, none of us are working in a field where I would think at this level where, we don't have the time and the money to just throw away or, wait. So just make sure that you're doing what you ask. The dues, my due is going to sound very, I'm going to say almost generic, almost like I don't like it because it almost sounds like it's kind of a push off type of thing. but I don't mean it this way. But the thing is, with the dues, you just gotta decide to do it. It's one of those things where I do like, because I've sat on this story for years. This I swear to God, and this predates Sharknado, Sharktopus, all those.
Sharktopus.
Yeah, this predates. I've been working on this for that, and I had the scripts ready, and I never thought they were, quote unquote, good enough, and so I never did anything with them. And then eventually, I just decided, screw it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on my own. Kind of damn the consequences type situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I make it, and I make the comic, and I've had what I would consider to be successful. Like it's almost, the success of it is almost kind of irritating because no label seems to be interested in it. Like no, Dark Horse and Image, they don't seem to be interested. But it sells out at the comic book store that I sell it at. It sells regularly, like almost. There's issues gone all the time. There's issues that are completely sold out. We have to restocked it many times. And this is a true story. Last weekend I went to Omaha with my friend Travis, and I live in Des Moines, so that's like a 2-hour drive. It's not really that far. So we go to Omaha after work. We're gonna go to like a show. And I decided to talk him into going to a comic book store beforehand. So we go to this comic book store, and I take all my comics in there, hilarity included. And I tell the guy, like, yeah, I have these comics. It's a Vampire Shark comic, and the owner of the comic store is not completely, like, he's not sure. And he flat out says, like, I don't know. This is a family store. This doesn't look like something I would be, want my store. And I'm like, because I don't want to be the guy that's like telling you to buy something that I don't think you're going to like, because, that's not going to reflect good on me. And I'm like, it is pretty graphic. There's, naked people in it. Hilarity. When I'll send you the cover, you'll notice the cover has a warning label, because there are penises in it. Like there's a whole joke about the history of dick pics that's in there. So definitely not for children. And so the guy is like, the owner's like, you're not talking me into this. I'm like, I know, but I don't want you to buy something and then be mad at me, like, because that's not going to reflect well. And I kid you not, the guy, his staff was standing at the counter looking at him, and I explained the whole Sam Raimi connection. That it's like Jaws, and he was like, I want to buy these. I want the entire set. So like that's how I got it. Like he's like, I'll give you store credit and I'll just sell it to this guy. So it didn't even hit the floor at that comic book store. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But yeah, that's like how and this is another true story. I was the comic book store I sell it in town. It's called Jay's CD and Hobby, and I'll tag it all the time. And the owner does this stuff with our local radio station called Laser. And Laser has these quote unquote rock girls. It's just like these, hot chicks they have come out for promotions and stuff. And they had these promotions there. And I'm walking through Jay's, and I see one of them. It's, of course, a good looking woman. So I should have known to keep my distance. But sometimes wasn't thinking. But so I go over and I'm kind of talking to her, and I see her, she's like looking at some vinyl, and I'm talking to her about that. And we're walking up to the counter together. And I say, what you should buy that I hear is really good. And I point to my Vampire Shark comic. And I'm just like, this is great. Everybody loves it. It's, people are raving about it. And she's like, really? Is that true? And I was like, no, I wrote it. So that's why I said that. And I kid you not, there was a guy on the ground going through back issues, and he turned and looked at me and he says, you wrote that? And I said, yes. And he's like, I really liked it. He was like, I really enjoyed that. And of course, I quickly handed my phone to that girl, and I was like, I got to get a picture with this guy. Which is like, and if that doesn't get you laid, nothing will. And
the complete opposite.
So,
right. The complete opposite of probably what she's used to.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I need to take a picture with this other guy.
Right.
Yes. So that was, it's so, as I I do feel it's been successful, and people really seem to enjoy it. And that's the thing, that would be my one takeaway from people that want to get into this, is that there are so many you hear so many people that like think what they write is garbage or it's not good or yada yada yada, and most likely it might be flawed. I'm not going to say, because we're all and mine is flawed. I'm not trying to, but it's probably better than we're giving ourselves credit for, and people might really enjoy it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're either your harshest critic and you're way wrong, or you're way too in love with yourself and you're also wrong. So if you think it's perfect, definitely listen to criticism. But if you think it's garbage, definitely just keep moving forward. Revise it if you have to, but just keep doing what you have to do to get it out there. Because you might be the one wrong in that situation. That's my thing. Is like there's just, and that's why I do love like listening to like people that like make movies or make anything creative, and you always hear them talk, and they're always like, I thought it was complete crap. I thought everything we did was garbage, and everybody. That's that 6 Minute to Air documentary with about South Park.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Trey Parker says in that. He's like, every episode we do, I think, is the worst episode we've ever done. So like that's what even successful people think this. So that's my takeaway, is like, just keep moving forward.
Okay. Social medias. What are your social medias right now? Do you have Facebook, Twitter, the normal?
Yeah, I Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and those are the three primary ones I use for pushing this. Facebook, I have a fan page for Ahab Van Helsing, which is Ahab Van Helsing. I didn't, again, creating these fan pages, and then I have this title that's like difficult to spell and find, but yeah, Ahab Van Helsing. If you Google anything Ahab Van Helsing, it'll probably bring these up, and like I'm Marc von Ahnen on Twitter, Marc
Okay.
von 5 I think on Marc von Ahnen on Twitter, and then Marc von 5 on Instagram or on Twitter. I got those all confused. I'll send you links if you want to tag them. But yeah, if anybody's interested, definitely hit me up. I would love to share them with you.
Where can they pick the book up? Do you have a website also?
I don't. I pretty much just tell people to DM me, and I'll mail them to them. Locally, they're always on sale at Jay's. So if you ever want to, if you are in the Des Moines area and you are interested in copies, hit up JCD and Hobby. And there's 2 locations that carry them. The south side and the west side both have copies. But yeah, if you want, I mean, I mail them all the time. I mailed, I mailed a package like 2 days ago. So.
Comic-Cons. Are you attending any Comic-Cons in your area?
Not at the time. I think there's one coming up that I'm going to try and get a booth for. I haven't looked into it. I've got a new job where I work like this. I took yesterday and the day before off because I haven't had a day off in like over 20 days. So I work constantly. So I've been I haven't had a lot of time to look into that stuff. So, so I would like to. I definitely want to keep getting booths and stuff. They're a lot of fun. I like seeing what other people do and kind of meeting people. So, but I don't have any planned at the moment, mostly because I'm just got a new job that I'm working so much.
Okay. Well, I guess, is there anything you want to say before we go?
No, just if anybody is interested, hit me up. I would be happy to get you copies. If you want to donate to my GoFundMe for War on Christmas, I would love to. If anybody's interested in that, hit me up with that as well.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to come talk with us.
Yeah, thank you, man.